Hello everybody, my name is Ilya.
And my name is Tyler. Together we make up kovray, a couple that loves to play board games.
And today we'll be teaching you how to play Horrified, Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, look at that box shake. Horrified Dungeons and Dragons is brought to you by Ravensburger, who helps sponsor this video.
Let's head to the table and let's learn how to play. As always, you'll begin by setting up. You'll place a game board at the center of your play area. You'll then shuffle the 4 Lair tokens and place them face down on Skull Island, Dragon's Platform, Obelisk of the Eye, and the Abandoned Camp. Next, you'll put the terror marker on the 0 space on the terror level track. Now you'll shuffle the monster cards and place them along with the citizen standees next to the game board. You'll then continue to choose the monsters you wish to play with. For your first game, we recommend you use the Displacer Beast and the Beholder. If you've played Horrified before or are more experienced, recommend the Red Dragon and any other monster. You'll place the corresponding monster mats next to the game board in frenzy order, lowest to highest, and place a frenzy marker on the monster mat with the lowest frenzy order number. Next, you'll proceed to set each up according to their own setup instructions. Let's go over each of them individually. To set up the Beholder, you'll first place the monster on a location with this icon and the number 4, Skull Island. You'll then place a 10 tokens marked with an X and the Beholder's Eye Ray reference card nearby as well. To set up the Displacer, you'll place the monster in location with this icon and the number 1, Abandoned Camp. To set up the Mimic, you'll place the monster and the monster mat on the start location. Finally, to set up the Red Dragon, you'll first take the 2 corresponding mats and flip the Red Dragon's Horde mat over to its backside. You'll roll a 20-sided die, a d20, which will indicate the setup for the Vault of the Orb. You'll place the 6 obstacle tokens as per the corresponding setup and the Orb of Dragonkind in its starting place. Finally, you'll place a Red Dragon on location with this icon and the number 6, Dragon's Platform. We'll discuss your objectives with each of these monsters and how they're defeated near the end of the video. Let's go over the player setup now. Each player chooses a hero and takes a corresponding tile, standee, and reference card. You'll place your hero at its starting location, which is indicated on your tile. You'll then shuffle the perk cards and deal 1 to each player. You'll place the remaining perk cards in a pile next to the game board. Finally, you'll place 60 item tokens in the Horrified haversack and shake them up good. You'll draw 12 item tokens and put them at the locations indicated on the items. You'll then place the Horrified haversack next to the game board. You'll then each roll the d20. Whoever rolled the highest gets to go first, and you're now ready to play. In Horrified Dungeons & Dragons, you'll be working with other players to defeat all the monsters on the game board. Each is defeated in their own unique way, and once all have been defeated, you'll win. You'll lose though if the terror level reaches its maximum, or if the monster deck is empty. Horrified is played in turns. Each turn consists of 2 parts, a hero phase and a monster phase. In the hero phase, you'll take up to a number of actions indicated on your hero tile, while other players having the ability to play perk cards. In the monster phase, you'll draw a card from the monster deck and resolve it. Before we dive into the specifics, let's quickly chat about the d20. Throughout the game, you'll roll this die. The AND symbol on this die is a 20. Anytime a 20 is rolled in the hero phase, you'll receive a perk card. During the monster phase, this does not happen. Additionally, a roll of 1 is always a critical failure. It often results in no effect. Perk cards can potentially change this though. Now onto the hero phase. Here you'll perform a number of actions up to the number on your tile. You can take actions in any order and perform actions multiple times. Let's go over each of them. Move. You'll move your hero from one location to another, following the paths. When you move, you can move any number of citizens in your location with you. You can also move in teleportation circles, moving between sections of the Forgotten Realms. Additionally, don't forget about the 2 secret passages when moving. Guide. You'll move 1 citizen from your hero's location to an adjacent location, or move 1 citizen from an adjacent location to your hero's location. You cannot guide citizens through a teleportation circle though. Why do you want to do this? Well, you'll want to protect them from the monsters and help them reach the location shown on their standee. When doing so, you'll remove them from the board and draw a perk card. Pick up. You can pick up any amount of items from your location. These will be essential in your game as they will help you achieve objectives to defeat the monsters and protect yourself from their attacks. There is no limit to the number of items you can have. As you can see, each item has a name, a color, a location, and a strength value. Location is where each item will start. The shape and color indicates the type, either weapon, magical, or mundane. The type will be important when performing certain actions. Share. If you're in the same location as another hero, you may freely exchange any number of items with each other as one action. Advance. You can use one or more of your items to advance a monster's challenge. Defeat. You can use one or more items to defeat a monster. You must complete a monster's challenge before you take the defeat action. When a monster is defeated, you'll move the terror level down one space and remove them from the board. We'll discuss each of the monster's objective and how you defeat them in a moment. Reveal a Lair. If you're in a location with a face-down Lair token, you may spend any color item tokens with a collective strength of 3 or more to reveal a Lair. This will be how you discover the Vault of the Orb of Dragonkind and the Red Dragon's Hoard. However, if it's a blank, no monster lair has been found. Finally, we have the special action. You'll take the action printed on your hero tile. You'll roll the d20 and apply its effects. These vary hero to hero. Make sure to review yours. Some abilities will also let you react in the monster turn phase, usually to your benefit. Lastly, all other players besides the active player can play perk cards to support the active player. You can share what your perk cards are with other players and share strategy for their use. These do not require an action to be played, and as mentioned earlier, you'll acquire them when rolling a 20 on your turn, and when you guide a citizen to their safe location. Now let's dive into the monster phase. You'll first draw a card from the top of the monster deck and resolve the 3 parts of the card from top to bottom. First, you'll draw the amount of items listed at the top right of the monster card. You'll place each of these items on the game board at the location indicated on the item. If the Horrified haversack is ever empty, you'll place all the discarded or used items back into the bag and mix them again, ready to be used. Next, you'll read the event out loud and do what it says. If the event showcases a color symbol for a monster that is not in your game, you'll ignore it and proceed to the monster attack. Lastly, we have the monster attack. You'll follow the instructions on the monster attack shown at the bottom of the card. Here's how to read it. You'll start with the leftmost icons to see which monsters will act first. Either a frenzy monster or any monster with a matching color symbol. If the symbol applies to multiple monsters, you'll choose the order in which these monsters resolve their actions. If the symbol does not apply to any monsters, you'll skip their attack. Now, if a frenzy marker is shown, then the monster with a frenzy marker will attack. This means that this monster may attack twice if the second symbol also matches the monster. The frenzy marker may shift monster to monster as the game progresses. Now, once you identify the monsters that will attack, you'll look at the next symbol, the move symbol. This is how much each monster will move before attacking. Each monster will always move toward the closest character to them, hero or citizen. If equally close, heroes will always take preference over citizens. And if 2 or more heroes are equally close, you'll choose where the monster will move. Additionally, monsters may use the teleportation circles, and once they reach the character, they will stop their movement. If there is a character present in the same location as the monster will not move. The monster will now resolve their attack by rolling the number of monster dice as indicated on the monster card. For each blank, nothing happens. For each POW symbol, you'll resolve the monster's power. Each power is detailed on each monster mat. Make sure to review each of these prior to playing. Finally, for each hit symbol, the character is hit. Now you may always defend your hero by discarding an item for each hit you want to prevent. However, if your hero is hit, they've been defeated. You'll remove the hero from the board and move the terror marker up 1 space. At the start of your next turn, you'll place the hero at the Yawning Portal tap room and then take your turn as normal. You won't lose any perk cards or items when defeated. Heroes cannot discard items to save citizens. When citizens are hit, they're removed from the board. You'll move the terror marker up 1 space each time this happens. And that's the monster phase. Now you'll keep playing and taking turns until you either win by having defeated all the monsters in play, or lose by having the terror marker reach the last space, or if the monster deck runs out and you're required to draw a monster card. Now that you understand the flow of the game, let's go over each of the monsters in this game and how you'll defeat them. Let's start with the Beholder. Your objective here is to damage the Beholder's eye stalks and then blind its central anti-magic eye to defeat it. The way you'll do this is when you share the same location as the Beholder, you can take the advance action and discard any item and roll the d20. If you roll a 1, nothing happens. 2 to 15 will mean you can deal damage to one of its eye stalks of your choice. 16 to 19 means you can damage 2 ice stocks of your choice. And finally, a 20 will mean damaging 3 ice stocks of your choice and retrieving the item you used back to your inventory and gaining a perk card. Once you've damaged all 10 eye stocks, you may attempt to blind the Beholder's central anti-magic eye. You'll need to be in the same location and use the defeat action, discarding mundane items with a collective power of 6 or more. Begone, Beholder! Next up is the Mimic. Your goal is to find and defeat it quickly. Now, while the Mimic is on the monster mat, perk cards and monster card events do not affect it. The monster attack movement does apply to the Mimic though. For each movement, you'll move the Mimic once on the monster mat. If the Mimic stops on this icon, you'll draw an item. If every hero has a corresponding item, you'll discard all of those items, and the Mimic will appear in the active player's location. If all players do not have this item, the terror marker will go up by 1 instead, and the Mimic will continue on its path, discarding the item drawn. In order to defeat the Mimic, you'll need to appear on the game board, and you'll need to take the defeat action, discarding magical items with a collective strength of 6 or more. Now we have the Displacer Beast. Your objective is to determine its true location and then vanquish it. When in the same location, you may take the advance action to place an item in any of the 9 spots on its monster mat. The strength of the item has to equal at least the amount of numbers in its space, either 1, 2, or 3. Now, once 5 items have been placed on the monster mat, you may attempt to defeat it. You'll take the defeat action of sharing the same location and discard items of any type with a collective strength of 7 or more. Then proceed to roll the d20. If the result is covered up by an item, the Displacer Beast has been defeated. If not, you'll move one of the items to a different spot. Now, if you roll a 1 in this process, you'll instead discard one of the placed items. If you roll a 20, you'll defeat the Displacer Beast. You'll gain a perk card and an additional action this turn. Finally, we have the Red Dragon. You'll first need to claim the Orb of Dragonkind, lure the Red Dragon to their horde, and then defeat them. You'll first need to reveal a lair, the Vault of the Orb of Dragonkind. Once doing so, at this location you may take the advance action, discard an item, and move any of the same colored obstacle any number of spaces. Your goal here is to collect the orb, which happens when it reaches the vault exit. The player who collects it gets to keep it in their supply. It can be exchanged with a share action, but does not count as an item. Now at the same time, you'll want to reveal the Red Dragon's horde. You'll be using this location to lure the dragon to the Red Dragon's horde. If your hero is in the Red Dragon's horde, you can take the advance action and draw 1 item from the Horrified hover sack. The Red Dragon will move a number of locations equal to the item's strength towards the Red Dragon's horde. You can do this even if you do not have the orb. Now once the Red Dragon is in the Red Dragon's horde, you may use the advance action to place an item or the Orb of Dragonkind in their indicated spaces. Once the orb and all 3 other item slots have been filled, you may attempt to defeat the Red Dragon. You'll take the defeat action and roll the d20, adding the strengths of items placed in the horde to your roll. If your total is 20 or higher, you've defeated the dragon. Otherwise, 1 item of your choice gets discarded, and you'll have to add 1 back in order to try the defeat action again.
And that's Horrified Dungeons & Dragons.
If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can.
And of course, if you found this one helpful, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button if you're new here, because we love talking and teaching board games.
And hit that little bell, because then you know when our next video is released. That's fun.
Exactly.
Now for our question of the day, which monster would you like to see in Horrified Dungeons & Dragons?
Ooh. Let us know down in the comments below, but until next time, we will see you in the next one.
Bye!